Hey there, this is Greg, the Masked Gamer, and I am here to do some Kingdoms Forlorn playthroughs with my still tilty camera that I'll never figure out. It's going to be tilty forever. For those of you who are new to my channel, this is a place for COVID cautious folks to talk about board games. You don't need to be COVID cautious in order to be here, provided there is no harassment, minimization, or denialism of any kind. With that said, I am here by myself today, so I will not be wearing a mask, and you will be able to see me sweat it out while I try to figure out how to do playthroughs of this game. This crooked laptop is killing me. I think I figured out what I did. I think it's because I punched it one day. Anyway, so just some background on what we're going to be doing today and moving forward potentially with Kingdoms Forlorn. I was trying to do a 7-player drop-in, drop-out version of this game due to scheduling. Scheduling's a nightmare. It's been almost impossible. So me and my most common other player have just reached King tier. Everybody else has played once or twice total and is at the beginning of or middle of mob tier. And we don't want to keep holding ourselves back waiting. So I had to make an unfortunate call, if you will, and retire 2 of the characters. And I'm now leveling them up so that when me and my main other player play, we can two-hand and start doing some King tier content. So the 2 characters that I have here today. First, on my right, I have a resurfaced version of the solo Ser Stoneface that I started the week the game came out. A lot of the equipment that he originally had been taken by other players, so he's kind of a little less stacked than he was at that point in time. He is technically a vassal tier character at this juncture because he does solo quest and he did a solo delve where he did 3 investigations. The other character is a fresh out of training Stoneface who got to pull some gold from the inn today in order to get a bow for his squire. He's wandering around with a shoddy pitchfork and really just nothing else. This means that we're going to be doing his mob level investigation, which puts us on row 2, and we've chosen monsters based on that. It also means that our 2 squires are going to be mob tier. However, because I've been playing the game for so long, the Squire Metal deck is fully Vassal upgraded already. So they're going to have a little bit more luck than other things. I've also had a lot of extra money for Ser Stoneface. So Ser Stoneface has hired for the team a Rogue, a Swamp Strider, a Mage, and a Bard, all level 1, because we're going to be doing some low-tier content, and I don't want to stack things up too much. We're going to be doing the Sunken Kingdom today because I haven't done the Sunken Kingdom as much as the Principality of Stone, and I want to spend some more time there. What I've done for the encounter deck, and you can judge me all you want, I still have not fought the Pale Blood Worms, I have still not fought the Bog Witch, so they're both in there. And then I 50-50'd it between Rat Wolves and... what was the other one? And First Men Lictor Hunters, because I've also only fought each of those once. Rat Wolves came up. They're all in the rotation. This means I should fight at least one monster that I have not fought before today, and hopefully by the time I'm done leveling stuff up, I'll have done the others. We're not doing a quest today. We're doing an investigation run, and we're doing it in the Sunken Kingdom. There's going to be a lot of spoilers. If you haven't, if you don't want spoilers, there's going to be spoilers here. This is mainly because I know there's not a lot of people just playing through Kingdoms Forlorn online. It is as close to a Grail game as I've gotten so far, despite some flaws. Everything's got some flaws. It's a little rickety sometimes, but I absolutely love this game, and at least now I'll be putting some content out there while I do this, and hopefully this will be a little smooth because I have played the game a lot at this point. And if I do get things wrong, at this point, then I leave it to you, my few people that watch me, to tell me what I'm still doing wrong, because I don't know. What I am going to do is, since this is Ser Stoneface's first journey, I am going to do some story time, and I'm going to read Ser Stoneface's prologue out loud, and then I'm going to read out loud, there are 2 investigations, the background for the Sunken Kingdom, for anybody who doesn't know it, if you're just watching this and not planning on getting the game. I am not going to read all of Ser Sanche's stuff. and that's how it's going today. So, the prologue for our Stone Mason Knight, Ser Stoneface. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Heavy footsteps echo as the young man runs through the empty streets. Breath seizes in his chest as his lungs constrict. He turns a corner and stops. A crowd stands before him, stock still. Moss creeps across graven features, and motionless lips stretch wide in twisted echoes of pain and fear. The statues are looking at him now. Did they move? He blinks, and they're closer, surrounding him. Rough, carved fingers grasp at his arms, his legs, his face, and Stoneface awakes, gasping for air through his inflexible stone throat. His heart still pounds in his chest, but he no longer feels the tightness of muscles or the rush of blood in his veins. He looks down to see the gray of his flesh, the solid carapace that has encased him for how long now? He rises from the low cot, pausing to look into the polished surface of his armor, looking back at him in a motionless, stern expression, granite features and unblinking eyes, the face of the Stone Man. Shaking off the memories of the nightmare, Stoneface emerges from the squat cottage. The rest of the village is already up and about, but it takes a few moments for him to realize what is wrong. Nobody's moving. Stoneface steps over to one figure, a farmer whose house he'd found shelter in. He reaches out, squeezing the shoulder, but there is no yielding flesh there, only hardened stone. He checks the others, all stone, frozen in an eternal moment of fear as they felt the curse take them. Stoneface. The stone man lifts his gaze and spots Franz, one of his few friends in the world. The young freckle-faced man stares at the statues around him with a mixture of fascination and horror. Stoneface, what have you done? Guilt stabs the stone knight to his heart. His cursed flesh, his very nature, doomed this village that granted him shelter. His friend rushes over, brow creased in worry. We've got to get out of here, big guy, he hisses. Come on, before someone comes snooping around. The pair run, a dozen thoughts rushing through the towering stone man's head. Foremost among them being, how can they keep running like this if his curse keeps trouble nipping at their heels? Slowly and reluctantly, his gaze rises to the implacable barrier of the deep fog. There are a few people who would follow him here, and thus begins the tale of Ser Stoneface. So Stoneface is going to be doing investigation 1-1 called the Stone in the Sword, because this will give him a new weapon in case he doesn't get a nice weapon from adventuring today. The prelude to Stone in the Sword. Listen well, for I have seen the faces of the divine host. The man stands over the crowd milling through the fortress's central courtyard. A manic look to his eyes, his tabard and undershirt torn in several places by his own hand. His expression is one of pure fervor, his gaze roving about the masses looking for anyone who might listen. Angels! They have come to our lands and taken residence in a shrine of the beloved sun. I found them at the roadside just beyond the fog. Most of the crowd pay him no heed, just another traveler driven mad by the fog. But you feel something in his words, a conviction that is hard to ignore. When my mortal feet befouled that most holy of places, they beset me from all sides. In my fear, I tried to fight them, but my blade could not touch them. It passed right through. It plunged into the statue of the sawed man himself, buried itself too deep to be removed. The madman is dragged away by the outpost's guards, and All-Father's priests berating him for spreading such heretical tall tales. But the fellow's words stick with you long after he has been hauled out of sight. Okay, so we're going to try to find that sword that he left in the Sawed Man. And then Sir Sanch is doing an investigation on level 2. He's going to be doing investigation 12 for Selfless Duty, which will get him +1 permanent might. He's doing that instead of his equipment quest because he already has the helm, so it's not that important to get a new helm yet, especially because we're just doing some mob level content today. I think it's very silly that his investigation 2-5 gives him 5 gold. That's the lamest investigation reward I have ever heard of in my life. Who decided that was a good idea? All right, Selfless Duty. Oh, Hygia. I don't know how to pronounce the saint's name. We're going to go with Hygia. Oh, Hygia be praised, a knight. The young woman, stick-thin and clad in mud-stained rags, falls upon you, clutching at your armor desperately. Please, you need to help me. My brothers, they went into the fog. They wanted to find our old home and see if anything remained, something we could sell for food or a roof for the night. It's been days and they haven't come back. I'm losing my wits from worry. Calm yourself, lass. The fog and its hazards are no threat to an Abravian knight. Oh, thank you, thank you. That was my old man voice. Some other progression things as I grab the other book. In our overall campaign, we have unlocked the Jura Citadel of the Saints. I am not going to do anything about pursuing that task while my friend is in here, so you're going to miss all of that stuff on my channel. You're just not going to see it. And that's just how it goes, y'all. Okay. For those of you who have not been to the Sunken Kingdom of Utrebant yet, I've decided it's French. I might be wrong. What is the Sunken Kingdom? The Sunken Kingdom of Utrebant is a realm plagued by the curse of the drowning. Once a thriving nation under King Charles Léon, Utrebant was home to vast tracts of farmland, a thriving trade port, and the mercantile empires of some of the wealthiest men and women of the Grand Kingdoms. Closed in on all sides by rival kingdoms, Utrebant was forced to expand into the Great Sea, reclaiming land from beneath the waves, first by building mud and stone dikes, and then later using pumps from the machinated state. Some say Charles Léon even dabbled in the dark arts to wrest more territory from the sea. After the passing of the comet, Utrebant began to lose itself, entire settlements suddenly sinking into treacherous mud, stretches of the farmlands and tulip fields submerged under salt marshes as the great sea wall gave way. The once gently rolling countryside rapidly swallowed up by mangroves and the marshes that came to be known as the Malediction Wastewood. Armies of first men, those are apes like my main character, Ser Stoneface, began to emerge from the slime-choked fens, wearing armor and bearing weapons of a bygone age, while the ground underfoot began to vomit forth long-lost cities and temples from the deepest mists of time. The past returns to haunt the Utrebanti. The deep fog cut off Utrebant from the rest of the world for a time. Now, those gray mists have finally parted. Adventurers find a kingdom barely keeping its head above the mire. Surges of mud-laden seawater frequently change the landscape, while the curse of drowning pulls everything down with an overbearing, irresistible weight. Will you thrive in this unforgiving land, or will the endless marches be your undoing? And we have set ourselves up here with a random tile. We're doing this faded out because this is going to be a huge game. Good news is we can still zoom in on things as we go. So we're just going to take a look at this starting tile here, even though we can't really do anything with it. Spoiler alert coming. Here is the starting tile for the game. You are never going to see this on here, but I can see there is a little code. There's a code over here that I don't know how to decipher yet, like little triangles and dots. It's there. It's there. It exists. I swear it is. Okay. That is the code. All right. So we're just doing a regular old exploration. We don't got to read stuff. We don't got to worry about stuff. We just got to worry about our curse. We got to worry about our threat. We got to worry about all of that nonsense. First things first, as we should always do with Sir Such, we're going to go ahead and do some monkey business and toss a little Sarah on top of this exploration deck. That is going to let us look at 2 cards instead of 1 card every time that we do something. So that's exciting for everybody, I think. Yeah. Okay. So it is most important to get the way this laid out. It's most important to get every clue. Dun, 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 dun. Just because this is a clue run, we're gonna just go ahead and zombie ourselves right in here to a large tile so we can get 2 clues on this first turn. So we're gonna head west. Heading west. Okay, so we go there. We raise our time by 1. Okay, I'm gonna have to move this down because you're not gonna want to see my bald head all that much every time I lean over to do that. We're advancing time by 1. We are advancing threat by 2. Ooh, let me see if I have anything I can do to stop that, because I'm a smart person. It's a virtue test. It's a token in a random direction. I didn't even look at what my special abilities are, so I'm doing that now. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Nothing I can do to mitigate that, so we're going to gain 2 threat. And then we get 2 clues. We went west, so one of our clues is going to be blue, which gives our friendly Sir Sancha clue. We're going to put all the clues. There's going to be a lot of getting up and walking around potentially during this because There's just a lot that happens in this game. That's all. There just is. And then we're going to see with our minor mortis deck what direction our we know that that is a blue clue because we have blue west on here. And then our second clue is also going to be left for west. So that is Sir Sanch done with his blue clues already on turn one. He still needs 3 green clues, and Stoneface needs a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so we've done all that. We're going to flip over this tile here, and this is the Guild Hall, where there is some tension in the air. Guild Hall, Guild Hall. First thing I want to do is see if I can find any numbers on here. And I'm sure I won't because I am terrible at finding numbers in this game. I'm looking for numbers. So my friend Min, who was here on our tutorial video, she is amazing at finding numbers on these things. She's like, oh, look, here's a number. 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 Meanwhile, I'm like, I can't find numbers on nothing. Not on nothing. Okay, well, I have given up on finding numbers in the guild hall. All right, so the first thing that we do upon flipping this tile is we're going to put a connecting tiles adjacent to it. So I need a small 2. There's a small 2. And I need a medium 4 and a medium 7. Now, my friend likes to take pictures of the map and then be like, I know where everything is. But I think we're supposed to just rely on our memory, and if we can't remember anything, like I can, it means that the fog has erased our memories, and we don't know what's going on next, what's where, what's how, what's why, and that's just the way it goes for us, I think. Okay. So now we resolve tension in the air, which is resolve a kingdom adventure. So we're gonna get to go right into some more reading. A kingdom adventure, we're going to roll a 100-sided die where the white is 100s. We have rolled 68 on those dice. And we're going to go into the Sunken Kingdom and look at Kingdom Adventure 68. Oh, I'm not going to be going into the sub-kingdoms today because I'm not making Jorah progress. That's discussed. Kingdom Adventures 15. 68. Frail Foundations. Oh no. This is a once per instance of the game. So I've crossed off this little box and we're going to see what happens in Frail Foundations. I hope it's not something really good. Yeah, this is. Okay. As floodwaters claimed the town, the people had fled upwards. Oh, let me do this when I'm doing story time. As floodwaters claimed the town, the people had fled upward, fashioning ramshackle new homes atop the old. The resulting jumble of interconnected buildings now towers far above the marsh, swaying precariously in the breeze. Whatever name the village once bore, the locals now call it Bootstrap. I have such feelings about that word, bootstrap. You can take your boots. As you navigate the crisscrossing web of swaying bridges and net of ropes and planks, the wind gusts powerfully, setting you swinging from side to side like an oversized pendulum. How the locals cope with this, you cannot. The sudden, violent shudder reverberates through the village. They like to do this where they cut off a sentence very drastically. So I have to do this. The sudden violent shudder reverberating through the village, sending your current perch gyrating wildly. You look down and see the outline of a massive, bulbous body, replete with spiny fins and tapering into a long paddle-like tail. Heavily muscled legs kick the water, sending waves crashing against Bootstrap's flimsy foundations. Behind you, the ropes twang and snap, your current bridge twisting as it loses vital anchor points. Eyes, scouring around you, look for a safe haven. You break into a run. Back, forward, you're not sure. All you know is you're not safe where you are. Each night will test might or tenacity of 10 plus. You can also gain 2 threat to add 1 to each test. We're going to need to get 3 or more successes to get something good out of this. Oh, I forgot. Because we entered a large tile, we need to add a blood token because we are in the Kingdom of Flooding. Surge token. I knew I forgot something. I'm going to forget a lot of things. Okay. So if we fail, if we only get one or two successes, we're going to get cursed and have to backtrack and add blood. If we get three or more successes, we're going to get some passione. Anybody who fails is going to get fear. We already have so much threat that's scary, but also if we lose, there's really no big deal because we're not on a quest. So I'm going to go ahead and take that +2 threat, bringing us up to, oh my god, 4 already to give us each a +1 to this roll. We are going to do things with our squires first because the squires are not so great at these virtue tests. So this has to literally be a 9 or a 10 for us to succeed. So first, Kaela, the aspiring squire. This is a 7. That is not enough. She's going to spend a heat to reroll. 10! Dun 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 dun! Kaela, the aspiring squire, has succeeded. One of these was a mob tier card, which was upgraded during the mob tier. This would not have existed in the original deck. Okay. Next, Bianca, the foolhardy squire. 9, we get a +1 to every roll, so we succeeded. That was also a mob tier card that normally wouldn't have been there. So that's 2 successes so far. Next, we are going to have Sanch go next because he has a higher heat limit and is better at rerolling. He can use Might or Tenacity. Sanch is got nothing on either of those things. So he's going to just roll a d10, and we're going to hope for the best. Ba-dum-bum-bum. That is a 3. That will not do it. He's going to re-roll that by gaining another thing. And we're 10. Oops. That, my friends, is, you can't really see it that well. That is it's a 9. You can see the dot. That's 3 successes. So now Ser Stoneface can go. And this went very well. I'm glad I got the extra things. He gets +2 to his roll because he has 2 tenacity. Jeez, please. 2. He also failed. We already have 3 successes. I'm going to go ahead and try this anyway because if he fails, he's going to get fear, which is going to suck for later. So let's. Nope, he still sucks. Okay, that sucked all the way around. So we're going to get some fear. Nope. Panic and dread. Exactly. Where's fear? Fear is. He looks so scared. Look how scared he looks. He's so scared. You have -2 precision. If you gain this a second time or you gain the dread condition, flip this card. When you deal a wound, discard this condition card and place a permanent positive precision on your board. He gets +1 precision from his pitchfork, but it's not going to be great. It's just not going to be. It's not going to be great for Stoneface. It's just not. We're just going to put that over there. Okay. No, we're going to put that in there. Okay. This goes in the bottom here. So we got 3. Well, what happened to Stoneface is you would have met your end. The wooden slats under your feet buckling like one of the stilted horses of the Utrebanti dragoons, were it not for one of your companions catching your flailing hand and pulling you back towards safer footing. You croak your thanks and rise onto trembling legs. The weightless feeling sticks with you. Gain fear. 3 or more successes. You power forward, leaping from a collapsing bridge to another until at last you outrun the tremors and emerge from the other side of Bootstrap mostly unharmed. Behind you, the village goes still once more. 2 knights each gain 1 passion, and we're going to have that obviously be our Ser Sanch and our Stoneface. The party leader gains the courage condition card, which is incidentally also Stoneface today. Courage. You have +2 precision, so that undoes that. And auto break 1. Discard this if you fully miss an attack or fail to deal a wound. Courage! Courage. His courage. He's scared and he's courageous. It's so wild and silly. Regardless of the result, as you leave the shaking, rattling silhouette of Bootstrap behind you, chance a glance over your shoulder. In the waters surrounding the foundations, the humped shape of something massive lurks, displacing a mountain of mud and slime. Two beady eyes peek above the waters, watching you with a flat, wide, expressionless look. If you encounter the toad dragon in a clash before the end of this expedition, escalate it 1. Ooh. And if you defeat it, resolve an additional clash scavenge 1. So you would get extra items from the toad dragon. There's obviously no way we're fighting a toad dragon because the toad dragon is one of the strongest things. So that's just not going to happen today. Bum, bum, bum. All right, we haven't even done the exploration deck draw yet. But we're going to do that now. So because Sir Sanch is sitting on top of here, we're going to get to draw 2 cards to choose from. We're going to choose from Sinkhole and It Came from the Mud. Sinkhole is place the party marker on the furthest revealed medium tile and place 1 flood token on all tiles adjacent to it. If there are no revealed medium tiles, place 1 flood token on your current kingdom tile instead. The other one is It Came from the Mud. Place this in your district area. Whenever Sink is triggered in the current district, resolve an encounter. We're about to leave this district, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose that one. So this is going to go in the Marsh district. Whenever a Sink is triggered here, we will resolve an encounter from now on. But we're leaving that behind because that's where the Rat Wolves are, and I don't want to fight the Rat Wolves. I want to fight something new, so we're going to end up going to the left, which is the Drowned district. It would now be the story phase where if we did find something to read on there, I didn't, I gave up. There's probably something, I'm sure there is, whatever, it is what it is. And we're going to go ahead and travel west. Because our curse is up so high, so already we are definitely going to go to this little mini tile here. That means we raise our time by 1, we lower our threat by 1, and we flip it. We don't get a clue on a little tile. Here is our little tile. It's a cute little tile. There's bridges. There's links to other things. We can go into the subterranean kingdom, which we're not going to do. I don't see any numbers on it, but that doesn't mean there isn't. And we're going to get this here. So connected to that is going to be a medium 2. Medium 2. And a extra large 1. So this extra large tile, lots and lots and lots of threat. 3 threat to go there, and we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. It's not going to happen because our threat's already so high. As much as I wish I could say we're going to do it. Okay, so we've done that. We're going to do our exploration card. We can choose between Fog Trespass and Canceled by the Mist. Okay. Fog Trespass. Place a deep fog token on a random path leading from your current tile. Or Concealed by the Mist, which lowers threat and clue gain by 1 on all medium, large, and extra large tiles in the current district. We don't want that because we're here for clues. So we're going to go ahead and take the risk on Fog Trespass. Now, I have a thing that I can remove a hindering token if I need to. I think I also have a thing where I can, this lets me place it. Oh, this I can place it instead of drawing a random number, but I don't have the heat to do it because I'm already at 2 heat, so that's not going to work. But I do have this thing to stop it if it's really in my way. So we're going to see where this Fog Trespass comes up. It is exactly where I want it. It's coming up to the east. That's the direction it came from. So we're going to go ahead, and the deep fog is closing in on us from behind. That's fine. I don't have to do anything else with that. That card is discarded. Okay. So now I can choose where I'm going to go next. I am not going up because, again, I have so much stuff, and that takes me back into the district that has some nasty stuff that I don't want to deal with. So we're going to go west to tile 2. It's going to raise our time by 1, going to raise our threat by 1, and we're going to get a yellow clue. I didn't even look at what clues I was getting, but I probably should have. The good news is that's one of the ones that we need more of for Ser Stoneface. And we're going to flip this over. Here is our next tile. There's some sunken windmills. There's some tubes. It looks like a northwestern edge of the kingdom. I am don't think I've ever seen this tile before. I am looking for numbers. Looking for numbers. Looking for numbers. I don't see numbers. And I just want to check something in the rule books. I always forget for Sunken Kingdom which size tiles. It's long, small, large, and extra large. Okay, so we don't add a flood token for this tile, but we do need to queue up our next direction that we're going in, which is going to be here. I don't know if that's the way it's going. I'm just pretending it is. And we need to do a point of interest. So the top card here is 2 plus 2 is 4. 4, far away landslide. Perform rotation 1. Oh no! So now the worms have moved here, and the bog witch has moved into the area we were in before that I wanted to play around in. How very sad. Okay, well, in counter phase, we're going to look at 2 of these cards. We have the fog that follows and of depths, the depths of mud. Of depths of mud is going to be resolve a kingdom adventure. Fog that follows is going to be putting this card into the active effects area. Whenever you travel onto another kingdom tile, place a deep fog on the path you came from. If you travel through the path with a deep fog, or if there are 3 deep fog tokens on the kingdom map, discard this card. I kind of. Hey, Toby. Dogs are going wild as you. Hey! No. Stop it. Stop it. I kind of don't want to do another kingdom adventure, and I feel like having fog spawn behind us is okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the active effects area. And then it's a story phase. So now there's kind of 2 choices before me. One choice is I can keep trying to lower my curse by sticking around here and work my way back around the south, back to the area with the really cool stuff. The other is I could backtrack 1 space and then try to go back to that giant thing where the bog witch is. The reason that I'm kind of tinging towards the bog witch is I'm scared of it. I have no idea what it does, and this is going to be Stoneface's first fight, and he needs to land this first hit. Oh, I don't know what to do. Okay, we're going to go south. We're going to go south. Because if we go south, we raise our time by 1, we lower our threat by 1, the surge token becomes a flood token, and we at least may live to fight 2 days instead of 1 day. I was wrong. This is a vertical tile. We're going through what looks like a lot of sunken. I almost said a lot of sunken ships, I guess. Lots of sunken ships on this tile. I am not seeing any things, but I don't really expect to. We're going to move this all up a little bit based on how this map is forming here. And we're going to get a large 3 to go underneath this. Large 3. So we know, because this was an active effect, I need to place a deep fog on the path we came from. Well, I'm not circling back to that number 1 now, that's for sure. Okay, so we're going on to the exploration phase because I didn't see any numbers or anything there, and we have a choice between a fog trespass and a surge. So surge would be just place 2 surge tokens on the kingdom sheet. Fog trespass will place a deep fog token on a random path leading from your current kingdom. That would take away any choice I have about which direction to go next, which I think is fine, because if we can deal with it and it's a bad thing, we'd rather deal with it now. So that is going to be north, which rotates clockwise to east. So we're going to go ahead and put a 3rd deep fog token on this tile. And this goes into our discard deck, and this does as well because there's now 3 of those on the map. Well, this leaves us with definitely going south for our next movement, so we're going to go south. All right, we're going to add 1 time. That brings us to 5. We're going to add 2 threat. That brings us to 5. We're still pretty much okay there. We get 2 clues. One of them is an X, and the other one's going to be random, which is going to be west. And west here is green. Okay, good. We still needed some green. That's okay. That's fine. Everything's perfect. Everything's perfect. We're making progress. And we're going to flip the tile. This is the Stilted Harbor because it's a harbor on stilts. Sure, there's a number on here because this is a huge, not huge. Oh, we have to add a surge token because it's a large tile. Oop. There's got to be hidden numbers on this tile, but I can't see them. But I'm sure they exist. No, don't see nothing on here. I am not good at finding these numbers. I am old and I can't see. All right. So first we're going to add all of the tiles that get connected to that. So we need a medium 9. We need a small 5. And we need a long, small 4. All part of the Drow District. We might want to circle below here to try to keep our threat down. Or we might want to do this to try to circle back towards the Bog Witch. I'm not really sure which thing we're going to do, but first we need to do our point of interest, which is 3 plus 4 is 7. A convenient hideaway, lose 2 threat. Ah, excellent. I think that answers our question that we're going to circle back the faster way. That was so good. That was exactly what we needed after everything going on today. But let's see what we have here. We have either a surge or a curse transfer. If we surge, we place 2 surge tokens on the kingdom sheet, or we can gain plus X curse to lose minus X threat, but that also is a sync tile. So we don't want to sync. We're going to put this here and put 2 more surge tokens on here. Things are getting a little flooded, but I mean, that's what happens in the Sunken Kingdom, isn't it? All right. So based on everything that we just discussed, we're going to just circle back and try to make this Bog Witch encounter happen. So we are going to go east onto this tile here. That raises our time by 1, lowers our threat by 1, adds another curse, another surge. So we've got 3 floods going on there. And here is the tile. It is some more sunk, drowned water. And we have, do we have a number? Do we have a number? Do we have a number? I don't see a number. I don't see a, nope, I don't see a number. Okay. So this goes here. We're going to need to queue up a medium 8 here and a long, small 6. Small 6 here. And then we're going to have to do an exploration draw. I think we ended up wanting to go east, but I'm not sure. Let's see. We have either a mudslide or an ancient temple. Either way, there's going to be a flood. The mudslide is going to make us backtrack to the previous kingdom tile, place a flood token on it, and do a whole bunch of other stuff that sounds terrible. The ancient temple, however, lets us gain heat to roll a die and do an effect. That's gonna lose all his heat. We're gonna do the ancient temple one, but not actually do the tests on it. But what is happening is, oh, there's a flag. It's the Bog Witch is coming to get us. Is we're going to resolve a sync effect. So when the party when a sync effect occurs, take all flood tokens and place them on random kingdom tiles connected to your current tile. So we're going to draw for each of them individually. One is going, I'm not going to show these all, I'm just going to show where they go. One is going north. one is going west, and one is going south. That's perfect because I was going to want to go east anyway, he says, but he might be. So that pretty much tells us which way we're going next. We're going to go east back into. Oh, wait, are we in the Marsh District? No, but we'll be in the Marsh District soon. We're going into the Marsh District. We're going to get one time. We're going to get one threat. We're going to get one green clue. Ser Sanch is well on his way. Ser Stoneface needs a lot more help. And this tile looks like this here. I know, I'm sorry. The glare from the I thought these ceiling lights were going to be so great for gaming, and it turns out they're just not. Let me think. City Gummer. Okay, this goes here. Oh, I have to look for numbers. That makes it much harder to look for numbers, however. Yes. It's cool that I can lower that. It just doesn't really like help anything. No, that's way too far for them. So, no, it's okay. And we're gonna raise this one just a little bit. Is that any better? Nope, it's absolutely not. Sorry, I tried. Um, I don't see any numbers on here. That doesn't mean that there's not numbers. It just means I don't see them. Okay. So we're gonna need a long, small, medium up north. Need a large 4 south. And it looks like we're going to be hitting that bog witch as long as we don't trigger a rotation, which is pretty cool. We're going to get to see something new. And we're going to go ahead and draw these two cards. We have the Deep Wet Fog. Oops, Deep Wet Fog. And we have the Sunken Sentry. These are both, okay. Well, Deep Wet Fog would be places in your district area. If you suffer a minor penalty after entering Deep Fog, place a flood token. That's just no big deal. Sunken Sentry is places on the active effects area. Resolve an encounter on the next long, small, or large kingdom token you encounter. You explore. If you succeeded in the encounter, remove one flood token from the closest kingdom tile and then discard this card. That's actually what I really want to happen, because it's actually going to be useful for us. Because we need to get some more passion before this fight. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Yeah. There's no story phase, and we are going to most definitely go south. Right? We're going south. Is that true? I think so. We're going to go south. That's one time. That brings us to the halfway point. So at the end of this, we're going to do our first clash. We get 2 threat, bringing us up to 5. We get 2 clues. One of them is yellow for Stoneface. Oh, we also have to add a surge token. And then the second clue is going to be south, which is another yellow one. Okay. So Stoneface now only needs 1 red, and Ser Sanch only needs 1 green. So we're on really good track to get both of our investigations done, which is great. Here we have the Flooded Market. The Flooded Market is another location that most likely has a number written on it somewhere, that I will never be able to see on this card, but most definitely exists. You know what's really wild about this is we have not hit a single cipher in the first half of this, which is pretty wild. Okay, so we have to raise this up a little bit more. Whoops, because this land is more big than I had anticipated. All right, so connected to the flooded market, we have a small 6. Ah, and we have a, is that a small 9? Sure is, that's a small 9. Everything next to the market is small. Small 9, small 6, flooded market. Right. So the big thing here is, let's see if we can avoid a rotation. But we got ourselves here, so if there is one, we'll still at least get the worms, which is good. First 3 plus 3. 3 plus 3 is 6, which is Shapes in the Dark. Party leader tests Insight plus 7 to see if we get an encounter. I got a crit. So that is a regular encounter. So we're going to be doing 2 encounters in this place. So resolve an encounter on the next long or small. Okay, we didn't get to the exploration step yet, so I think this happens before Sunken Intrigue. But we're gonna get a little tease on our Bog Witch here, but we're gonna have to do 2 encounters against her. So here's what the encounter board looks like. This was not in the tutorial. And an encounter is just a short 1-round battle against this creature. So I have to run off and get that creature because I didn't have it laid out. Apologies for delays. And here she is. Boys, here she is, world. Oh no. This is our Bog Witch. Now, I just watched VHS Halloween today, and spoiler alert, there was this, the opening sequence had this really, really creepy, like witch lady who had like 6 boobies dripping milk. If you look real close, under the Bog Witch here, you can see she's got 2 drippy boobies too. Got some drippy boobies. Okay. So, this is going to be a regular encounter, which means we're going to spawn her first. So when we're spawning a vassal, somehow I have forgotten this because I feel like I'm always doing these against mobs, and not these, but when we do this against a vassal, we roll 2 red dice and place it so it's standing on both symbols if possible. Okay. So, our 2 red dice is this. We got whatever that says. I can't see it on the camera. It looks like it's 2 double swords. So we got to try to place her so she's on 2 double swords, which it looks like the only location that can happen is here. So she is going to try to target the most spaces possible. So she's definitely going to face this face. You know, since we're zooming in on this, I'm going to try to experiment and see what this means. That brings us in just a little bit. So we can get a little bit more in there. All right, so everybody that she hits is going to gain a heat, which is pretty terrible. The good news is we'll raise our heat limits if we do well. So each of our 4 characters is going to roll a die. Boom, boom. And 3 of them rolled a single chalice, and 1 of them rolled a sword and a chalice. So our single chalice people is Stoneface, who has a reach weapon, so he's going to stand here. Kaeya, who has a bow with a range 2 to 4. So she's going to stand here. Oh, wait, hold up. Vassal is only part of the board, so I might not be facing her. No, she's still facing in the right way because she can still target 3 things from there. That's as she can. Okay. So this guy's got a chalice with reach. She's got a chalice like this. She could shoot 2. He's got a chalice. We do this. And she's got a sword and a chalice. Yeah, she'll take a hit. So she's going to come here. You know, I don't think I'm going to need to do... Well, no, I need to get 3 hits to do very well. So she's going to come here. So first the Bog Witch goes. She hits this space, and this space, which means she is going to give 1 extra heat to Bianca, the foolhardy, who was foolhardy and went into that spot. All right. So I need to see how many successes I'm going to get. I need to roll a 5+ to hit and do 4 damage in order to hit it. If I manage to do 8 damage, I'll do a full scrape. Resolve the monster positioning step. Oh, it says here resolve the monster positioning step after placing 2 knights on the board. Then continue the knight positioning step. I didn't do all of that. I'm not going to backtrack this because we're going to have to encounter her again for the Sunken Sentry thing anyway. So we're just going to keep going. So since Kaelia jumped into there like a doopy head, she's going to go first. She needs to get a 5+ to hit. She gets a 5+ to hit. Now she needs to do 4 wounds. She does 3 wounds. There's no breaks in there, but because she has a blue card came up here, she gets 1 extra power from her weapon. So that's the 4 that she needed. That is 1 scrape, and we designate that with this little token here. We have put a scrape on the bottom edge. Okay. So she gets to do her stuff, which is to put 2 opening tokens into the encounter pool. Not the night pool, but the encounter pool. So I'm just going to put these over here. I've noticed that I have not used any of my special abilities at all for this mission, which means I have not built up a first, what's the word I'm looking for? I have not built up a very good first turn here at all, which is fine. Oh, wait. All right. I could have used this to subtract 1 from the point of interest modifier here. And I wasn't paying attention. We're going to say I did that because that would have let me discard a surge token. And then this would be the actual real encounter, but I'm still not going to backtrack it because I just want to get on with life, really, is why. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put an opening 1 token on the board. This is for the actual night pool for the encounter, so I'm going to leave it over there. And what we're going to see happen is when we, yeah, it'll be fine. Everything will be great. Okay. So that was Bianca the Foolhardy Squire, did 1 scrape. Now that I have an opening token, I want to try to make sure I hit with I want to make sure I hit because of fear. So we're going to have Stoneface go next, raise his passion to 2, and he's going to roll 2 dice. He gets a +1 to hit, and a +1 from this opening token. So that's +2 to hit. So we should be able to hit with +2, an 8 and a 4 are both hits. So he's going to be able to roll 1, 2 dice for his pitchfork and 1 die for himself. To try to do a total of 4 wounds. Oh dear. That might actually be a little tight because there's no break tokens in there. This, we need 4 wounds. Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds. Okay, so that was a second scrape. So we got a second scrape in there. He was able to discard fear and put a permanent +1 precision token on his night board, which is going to be great. Well, it's not a wound, but yeah. Oh, he didn't deal a wound, so he doesn't get to discard this. He did a scrape. Ah, that sucks. Okay. But he still gets to do some things. He gets to add a break token to the pool instead of a opening token. And that also means that instead of opening token, he gets to add an opening for his pitchfork, a break token for his heroic arc. He can also push, but that's not going to do us any good, so he's not going to do that. All right. Sanch doesn't need an opening, so Kaye is going to go next. She's got an 8, which is a hit. And then she's got a 4, which is enough power to do a wound. And that is another wound to the monster. So that's the 3 that we need. She adds She adds 2 break tokens in, one for her bow and one for her heroic arc. And then finally, Sir Sanch. It doesn't even matter if he succeeds, but he's going to try. And he rolled a 1 for a full miss, which is fine. All we really wanted was for him to get a passion. That miss is okay. Oh, he gets an attack reroll from his storied blade. Oh, and whenever he attacks, he loses 1 heat. That's useful. And he rolled a 1 again. Well, that's a good time to get my 1s out of the way. With +3, each knight raises their heat limit by 1. So we're going to raise our heat limits by 1. Raise our heat limits by 1. So heat limits by 1. Okay. So we've done all of that. We've done our 3 scrapes to the Bog Witch. We completed the encounter, which lets us remove a flood token from the nearest kingdom tile. And that is the point of interest. We still need to do the exploration deck, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. We can either have Disturbed Mire or Drowned Dash. Whenever we sink in our current this district, we would have to do an encounter. I don't want to do another encounter. Oh no, the other one says rotation, which I really don't want to do. I want to fight this Bog Witch. So yeah, we're gonna we're gonna do the sink. We're gonna place this card in our current district. At the end of the delve round, one knight may gain +1 heat or suffer cooldown if they don't place 1 flood token on your current kingdom. Because we triggered a sink, we're going to trigger a second encounter against the Bog Witch. I was trying to avoid it, but it happened. So we're going to place 2 knights on the board, and then she's going to spawn. So let's roll these 4 dice. We have a sword, a double sword, and a blank. I think spawning our 2 people with the swords is going to be our best first move. So we're going to do that. Now she's going to spawn double sword and chalice. So she can spawn here or here. She spawns here. She can definitely hit him. If she spawns here, she can't hit anybody. So she's going to spawn here to hit Ser Stoneface. Then we can spawn Ser Sanch at a double sword. It's fine if he gets the thing. And Kaya at a blank space, which is here. And we're going to do all of this same opening gambits again. So Kaya is going to go ahead. Oh, look, it's a crit miss. Well, she's going to get a heat to try again. That's a hit with 8. And then that's 4 wounds with 4. So that, we're going to put the scrape tokens. So that's 1 scrape so far. I have to reshuffle this deck before she can do anything else. She's going to add a break token and a opening token into the encounter pool. Stoneface is going to go next, raising his Passione up to 3. He's going to roll 2 dice. He got a 4 and a 9, which are both enough to hit. I'm not showing you all these dice because I suck, so we're going to move this here. Going to roll 3 dice. He needs to get 4 wounds. That's 1 wound with 3 potentials. There's only 1 blank in there. He does get 1 power reroll, so we're going to try rerolling this. 1, 2, 3. That's not enough breaks, unfortunately. So that is he failed to do a scrape, which is not a wound. So I don't. Oh, he gets auto break 1 from his Courage, so that is 2 breaks. So that is enough to do. So he does a second wound, a second scrape rather. I'm sorry, and he can add 2 break tokens into the pool, which he will. And then he gets something when he has 3 or more. 3 or more. Who gets something when they have 3 or more? That was Sir Sanch. 2-handing even is a cognitive load of the ages for me. I'm just saying. And then we have Kaea is going to go next. Oh, she can't. She doesn't have a bow, so she's just gonna give an opening to Sir Sanch, who is now at 3 and rolls 1 die with his blade. 2, ironically, a roll of 2 is a hit, just ones are always misses. And then he gets to roll this stuff. Oh, he loses 1 heat whenever he attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's enough. So that's the 3rd hit that we needed. And that is going to let each knight raise their heat limit by 1. Which seems great, but like when we get hit, it's going to go down, isn't it? Is that true? What? I don't think I've ever like had this high of a heat limit going into a fight. So I'm just checking something here. 17. Lose health as threshold rises. If you lose health as threshold rises. If you gain health, do not decrease your heat. I've been doing this wrong the whole time. We've been lowering it when we heal. Ha. We've been doing it wrong this whole time. Okay. So that's the end of that encounter, which was from the encounter deck. We're going to go on to the story phase. I'm going to look at this tile just one more time in case I can find any writing on it before we go into our clash here, because this is what will happen next. We're going to go to our clash, and we're going to pause the video while not pause. We're going to stop the video while I set up the clash. The clash will be a later video. I'm going to do just a clash phase or just a delve phase in each of these videos I do. All right, well, that was that. We're going to do we're going to set up our exhibition clash against the Bog Witch. It's going to be a new fight. It's going to be fantastic. I'm so excited. I will see you back here in probably an hour. I don't know. We'll see. Until then, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and whatever you do, keep those health bars full. Thank you and have a great day.